Hi everyone, happy holidays. Today I'm going to teach you how to make a purse from one step to the last step. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet done that. Leave a like on this video and share this video with your friends. So the first thing you need is cloth, and you also need something for measurement. This measures the width and the length of the purse on one side. So I'm going to take this and place it on top of the cloth. I'm going to cut out that pattern on the cloth. So when I open it up, I'm going to get the entire length and width of my purse. So I'm going to cut two pieces of that. Also, if you have something like blanket or something that is thick, maybe a comforter or a quilt, you can cut out piece from that, but I don't have that now, so I'm making what I have do. This is kind of like a carpet, so I'm going to use that. I'm using it as an interfacing to add body to the purse to make it feel thick and nice. Then after you've done that, you want to take your one piece of your cloth and you want to draw some lines onto it, some horizontal and some vertical lines, and this would result in some small squares after it has been sewn. You're just gonna make it on one piece of your cloth, and you want to also use something like a pencil that can rub off when you're doing that. So once you're finished, this is how it looks, like small boxes. I'm going to take one part of the cloth, I'm going to lay it down, I'm going to lay my spongy area in, then I'm going to lay the other cloth on top of it, and I'm going to sew the corners of this. So once you finish sewing the corners that holds the purse together, you want to sew on each of the lines. So you want to take your time and sew on each of the lines, and this will keep your spongy area, or this will keep your purse intact. So once you've done that, you will definitely get something that holds together gentle, and that looks great. So now I'm going to take my cloth, bend it in half, and I'm going to also cut it out again. So I'm just going to take this piece of cloth and I'm going to sew the corners on the inside like this, and this is going to make two pockets for me. I'm going to cut it in half and I'm just going to bend the corners in again and just sew them in nicely and neatly. So that's the way I have two pockets. Once I'm finished doing that, I'm going to take another piece of cloth and I'm going to cut out 4 long pieces. This is what I'm going to be using to bind the corners of my purse. So if you have an iron, you can just iron it out, but for my case, I'm not going to iron it out. So you want to make sure you bend each corner or each side, and you want to sew this piece of cloth on each end of your purse. So this will neaten it up and make it look as beautiful as it is looking now. Once you're finished doing that, you want to take the piece of cloth that you sewed afterwards and you want to place it inside of that purse. You want to sew it on each corner, but you're going to leave one part open. So you're going to sew it on in the middle and on the top and at the bottom, so that way you will have 2 large pockets. This is how it should look once you're finished sewing. So you have to sew these 2 parts, but before I go ahead and do that, I want to take some hot glue and I will be hot gluing my pockets onto the 2 larger pockets inside of my purse, if that makes sense. But what I could have done, I could have just sewn it on before I sewed the larger pockets inside of the purse. I could have just sewn it on, but I chose to just glue it. So you want to hot glue 3 parts, 3 areas of the pocket, so that you have an open area at the top like so, and you're just going to do that for the next pocket. So here I have 4 pockets inside of my purse. So you want to make sure it's glued properly. So this is how it looks once you have glued it down or sewed it properly. It looks neat and nice. So now what I'm going to do is grab my zip. If your purse is maximum in length 12 inches, or if your purse is 10 inches in length, you want to get a 12-inch zip. That way you have extra. So you want to line up the zip properly, and then you want to add your hot glue. Okay, then you want to take one side of the zip and place it neatly onto the purse. Make sure that you place the part of the zip that zips, that closes at the top area once you're gluing it. So you want to make sure that this area where the zip closes, it stays at the top of the purse area. So you must make sure that you do that in order for the purse to close properly. You want to line up this area properly, and you want to make sure you glue on the next part. So try to glue it on as tight as possible, or if you like sewing it, you want to make sure it doesn't come off, you can go right ahead and sew it on. So I would advise you to always use the same color thread to sew on a zip that the zip is. So if the zip is white, you want to use a white thread. This will make the purse look even neater. So once you've done that, you want to make sure that you can close the purse. If there's any glue that is blocking the area of closing the purse, you want to remove that glue and make sure that the zip locks in perfectly. Make sure that it is as neat as possible. Keep trying the zip until it is comfortable. So once you've reached the desired length and everything seems fine, you can go right ahead and cut off the excess part of the zip and just tuck it on the inside. I'm just hot gluing it so that my zip will not come right off. In case someone was to open my purse right out, it will not just pull the zipper off and my purse will spoil. So I'm just going to sew the corners of my purse now, and this is how my purse looks once the corners have been sewn. I'm just going to try the zip again to make sure that it still works perfect. So I'm just going to take my glue and neaten up the ends of my purse. You want to make sure that you squeeze it as tight as possible. Make sure that the two ends are lined up perfectly. So here I have at the front, I have a little opening, and I'm just going to add a little handle what I created for my purse. You can also sew this part into the purse as well. So I'm just going to make sure that it is extremely neat. So right now my purse is finished. I'm just going to take a bow that I bought for Christmas, and I'm going to add it onto my purse for a finished look. I have so many different colors, but I just chose to use the silver. So guys, there you have it. I hope that this was educational for you and the steps was not that hard. Take your time, and in no time you will be making a beautiful purse for you or your family members. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a like on this video.